The engine coughs, once hard, like it is choking on its own breath, then dies in the middle of the road. The woman grips the wheel, heart racing, eyes darting to the empty stretch ahead. Night is closing in fast. Her phone buzzes a low warning. 1%. No signal bars, no lights nearby. Just the smell of hot metal and fear settling deep in her chest. She steps out, shoes crunching on gravel, waving at cars that pass without slowing. Horns blare. One truck swerves wide as if her presence itself is a threat. She feels small, alone. The road feels endless, and the silence feels loud. Then she sees him. He is bent over an old sedan parked on the shoulder, hood up, hands deep in grease. His jacket is worn thin at the elbows. His boots are scuffed. His face carries lines carved by years of sun, stress, and something heavier. A small boy sits on the curb nearby, swinging his legs, tracing shapes in the dirt with a stick. The man straightens slowly, like his body carries weight beyond the visible. He looks at her, really looks, the way people do when they have learned to read danger and pain without words. She explains, fast and breathless, that her car died, her phone is almost gone, that she is scared. He nods once. No rush, no questions that waste time. He tells his son to stay put. His voice is calm, steady, the kind that makes panic slow its pace. Within minutes, his hands are in her engine bay, fingers moving with quiet skill. The smell of oil and dust fills the air. The road hums with distant traffic. The boy watches his father with a look that mixes pride and worry as he works. The woman notices the way he winces when he leans too far, the way his left hand shakes just a bit when he pulls back. She notices the scars. Old ones, faded, earned. This is not the first time he has fixed something broken on the side of a road. His name is Marcus. Long before this night, Marcus wore a uniform that never quite leaves him even now. He served years fixing engines under worse conditions than this. Hot sand, cold nights, the smell of fuel mixed with fear. He learned to listen to machines the way others listen to people, catching problems before they became disasters. But war takes more than it gives back. He came home with ringing in his ears, pain in his joints, and memories that wake him before dawn. He came home to bills that stacked faster than paychecks. 2 job interviews where his skills did not seem to fit neat boxes. To a world that thanked him with words but not much else. He became a single father after a sickness moved faster than hope. He learned how to braid hair and pack lunches and hold grief quietly so his son could feel safe. He took work wherever he could, fixing cars, towing junkers, anything honest. Tonight his own car broke down after a long shift. He was fixing it when fate rolled another problem into his path. He tightens a clamp, wipes his hands, and asks her to try the key. The engine turns, coughs, then roars back to life. Her breath leaves her in a rush. Relief floods her body so fast it makes her dizzy. She laughs, then covers her mouth, tears forming without warning. She asks how much she owes him. Marcus shakes his head, says she should get home safe, says roads are unforgiving when you rush. One of his quiet rules lives in his chest, shaped by years of hard lessons. Do the right thing when no one is watching. That is who you really are. She thanks him again and again, words tumbling over each other. She looks at his son, then back at him, something thoughtful settling in her eyes. Wants to ask more. But his focus has already returned to his own car, to the boy waiting patiently. She drives away with her heart still racing, unaware that this night has planted a seed far bigger than any of them can see. Marcus finishes his repair by the glow of a streetlight that flickers like it might give up at any moment. His car starts. He exhales slowly. The boy climbs in, already half asleep. They drive home to a small apartment that smells faintly of oil and laundry soap. Marcus sits on the edge of his bed long after his son falls asleep, hands resting on his knees, mind replaying old scenes he cannot fully escape. But there is comfort too, a quiet pride. He helped someone tonight. That still matters. The next morning begins like most others, too early, not enough coffee. Marcus walks his son to school, ties a loose lace, reminds him to listen to his teacher. He watches the small figure disappear through the doors, then heads to his car. That is when the street fills with black. One SUV, then another, then another. 12 in total, moving slow and deliberate, engines purring with quiet power. They line the curb like a procession meant for someone important. Neighbors peek through curtains. A man walking his dog stops cold. Phones come out. Whispers ripple through the air. Marcus freezes. His first instinct is caution. Years of training never fully leave. His shoulders tense. His eyes scan. 8. He steps. Slightly in front of his car without thinking, body moving on instinct alone. The lead SUV door opens. A woman steps out. Well-dressed, calm, purpose in every step. She looks around, then locks eyes with Marcus. It is her. The stranded woman from the road, but she is not alone. One by one, doors open. Men and women step out, all carrying themselves with a quiet authority. No raised voices, no rush, just presence. She approaches Marcus, stopping a few feet away. The street feels like it is holding its breath. She speaks, steady and clear, telling him that yesterday he fixed more than an engine. He fixed a moment that could have ended very differently. She tells him she did not forget his kindness when her fear was loud. She explains who she is. She explains who they are. The SUVs belong to a foundation that helps families who have fallen through cracks no one likes to talk about. Veterans. Single parents. Quiet workers who carry the weight without complaint. She tells him they found him because kindness leaves traces. Because someone who helps without asking leaves a mark that can be followed. Marcus listens, stunned, words settling slowly like dust after a storm. She tells him they are there to return the favor. An envelope is placed gently in his hands. He does not open it yet. His fingers tremble. The street is silent now, every neighbor watching, every breath caught. She says a line that will live in his chest forever. You showed up when no one else did. Another voice joins in. One of the men from the SUVs, older eyes, kind but sharp, says, "Honor is not loud, just lasts." Marcus finally opens the envelope. Inside is not just money. It is relief. Rent covered for a year. Repairs paid. A job offer that fits his skill like it was made for him. Support for his son's education. A path forward that does not require him to break himself to survive. His knees weaken. He steadies himself against his car. He tries to speak. Fails. Swallows hard. The woman tells him there is one more thing. She gestures, and a small crowd of neighbors steps closer. Not out of curiosity now, but respect. She says this world misses too many heroes because they do not announce themselves. She thanks him, not just for fixing a car, but for teaching her something about quiet strength. Marcus finally finds his voice. It comes out low, rough, honest. He says he just did what needed doing. The woman smiles softly, says that is exactly why they came. His son appears at the edge of the crowd, backpack on, eyes wide. He looks from the SUVs to his father, confusion turning into awe. Marcus kneels, meeting his son's gaze. He places a hand on the boy's shoulder, grounding himself in what matters most. He says a line his son will carry for life. Do good even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. The crowd does not clap. They do not cheer. They stand still. In that silence, something shifts. Respect settles into the street like morning light. A lesson passes without a single raised voice. The SUVs leave as calmly as they arrived, one by one, until the street returns to its normal shape. But it is not the same. Marcus stands there long after they are gone, sun warming his face, heart full in a way that feels almost unreal. That night, he cooks dinner without checking the clock every 2 minutes. He helps with homework without the weight of tomorrow pressing so hard. He sleeps deeper than he has in years, and somewhere inside him, a belief long buried stirs awake. That quiet goodness still matters. That unseen strength still counts. That sometimes, when you fix an engine on a dark road, the world notices the way you held the wrench. Because dignity does not demand attention. It earns it. If this story moved you, share where you are watching from. Tell us what quiet strength means to you. And subscribe for more stories that remind us heroes often look just like the person standing next to you. Hands dirty, heart steady, doing the right thing when no one is watching.